Hello friends, I am Mr. G. Pujari working as an assistant professor in Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yedrao. I am teaching the subject machine drawing, and in machine drawing today we are going to see the unit number 2, study of machine elements. So in the study of machine elements, following things we are going to see. First of all, we are going to see the introduction about the study of machine element. Then we are going to see the study of simple machine elements and components such as the following elements we are going to see in detail. First of all, we are going to see screwed fastener. What is meant by fasteners? What is the importance in industry and why we are using fasteners in industry? Then second, we are going to see about the shaft coupling. So what is the use of coupling? Why couplings are preferred in industry? And what is the use? Then we are going to see the pipe joints, the importance of pipe joint, the material of pipe joint and the application. Then we are going to see a riveted joint. What is the importance? What is the purpose? And then application, then material. Then we are going to see about the welded joint, types of welded joint and the application of welded joint. Then we are going to see about the bearings, what types of bearings we are using, what is the material of bearing and why bearings are required. Then we are going to see at the last about the gears, what is the purpose of gears, the gear material and how gears are drawing. So we are going to start about this chapter with the introduction. The machine elements are the basic mechanical parts and features used as the building blocks of most machine. Machine elements may be features of parts such as screw threads or integral plain bearing, or they may be discrete parts in and of themselves such as wheels, axle, pulleys, rolling element, bearings or gears. Machine element refers to an elementary components of machine. These elements consist of three basic types: structural components such as frame, members, bearings, axles, spline, fastener, seals and lubricant. Mechanisms that control movement in various ways such as gear train, belt or chain. Drives, linkages, cam and follower system including brakes and clutches, and control components such as buttons, switches, indicator sensors, actuators and computer controllers. Machine elements are basic mechanical parts and features used as the building blocks of most machine. So as study of machine elements are very much important because these are the building blocks, and because of these machine elements, whatever the function, whatever design, why we have designed this machine, that become suitable. So nothing but whatever we are designing a machine is nothing but what we are doing, we are actually doing the designing of these machine elements. So the study purpose is very much important. So when you want to design a machine, you require to study properly about the machine element. Then once you understand the application, once you understand the purpose, then only you can use particularly right machine element at right place. Now the structural elements: shaft, couplings, bearings, fastener, key splines and quarter pin seals. These are the structural elements. Now one example we have shown here: drive shaft with universal joints at each end and spline in the centers. So this is a universal joint and this is also a universal joint and this is a spline. So this is a drive shaft. one more example is we have shown here the Skoda 422 rear axle, suspension and drive shaft on display at the Skoda. So by observing this you can understand that there are very much important application is required into machine element. So first of all we are going to see in all the elements. First element we are going to learn about the screw fasteners. So what is the screw fasteners? Screw and bolts are used to fasten materials by the engagement of the screw thread with a similar female thread, internal thread in the matching parts. Screws are often self-threading, also known as a self-tapping, where the thread cuts into the material when the screw is turned, creating an internal thread that helps pull fastened materials together and prevent pulls out. There are many screws for variety of materials. Those commonly fastened by screws including wood, sheet, metal and plastic. So screw fasteners, those are mostly useful for attaching the two parts. So we want to attach or we want to clamp two parts. By using this screw, by using this fastener, we can easily attach the two parts. A fastener, this word is come from US English, and fastening, this word is coming from UK English, is a hardware device that mechanically joins or affixes two or more objects together. In general, fasteners are used to create non-permanent joints, that is joints that can be removed or dismantled without damaging the joining components. Welding is an example of creating permanent joints. Steel fasteners are usually made up of stainless steel, carbon steel or alloy steel. Now we are going to see the examples of screw fasteners. So here you will see this is bolt, this is screw and this is stud. So first one is a bolt. This is one component, this is second component, and these two components we have clubbed together, we have attached together by using this bolt. This bolt is having this head, and by using this nut we have, first of all what we have done, we have closed together these two parts, then we have inserted bolt inside this one, and then we have tightened the nut over this. Okay, so by using bolt we can clamp two parts together. Then second one is a screw. So your screw is having the threads on internal threads in hole and external threads on this screw. So screw is also having head. So one more example is stud. So here stud is not having head. We are using nut here to clamp, or we can using nut we can clamp on this stud. So also we have stud inserted here inside these two parts. So bolt, screw and stud is example of this fastener. Screwed fasteners material. So important thing is a material. By material is the most important thing, by proper selecting materials, because actual functioning of the any kind of component is directly related with the material which we have selected. Okay, so that's why whatever material we have used, that is most important thing. So there are three major steel fasteners used in industries: stainless steel, carbon steel, alloy steel. The major grade used in stainless steel fastener is 200 series, 300 series and 400 series. Titanium, aluminum and various alloys are also common materials of construction for metal fasteners. In many cases, special coatings or plating may be applied to metal fasteners to improve their performance characteristics. By, for example, enhancing the corrosion resistance, common coating plating include zinc, chrome and hot dip galvanizing. By using this, because of this coating, what will happen, we are actually applying the one layer of material on this whatever the fasteners we have made. By suppose example like suppose mild steel fastener is made up of mild steel. Okay, so if you want to increase the life of this fastener made up of this mild steel, we will use some coating of CRN, chromium nitride coating will apply on that MS fastener. So because of this CRN coating, CRN is a hard material, and because of this coating the life of this screw or whatever the life of the fastener will increases. Application: when selecting a fastener for industrial application, it is important to consider a variety of factors. The threading, the applied load on the fastener, the stiffness of the fastener, and the number of fasteners needed should all be taken into account. When choosing a fastener for a given application, it is important to know the specific of that application to help select the proper material for the intended use. Now we'll see the general layout of this nut and bolt. So for this bolt, this is head, this is the radius we have taken inside, this is a grip length, this is a nominal length, then this is a thread, this is a nut, this is a runout, and this is a shank. This is called as a shank. Okay, so this is a general nut bolt assembly. Now the same view, this is a head, this is a bearing surface, this is a shank, this is a point, this is called a thread length, this is called a grip length, and this is a total length. Now the application of nut and bolt we have shown here. This is part A, part B, and part C. We have clubbed together this part 3R. We have done the assembly of this one by using the fastener nut and bolt. So this is a bolt, and we have done here by using nut. We have clubbed together this part. Here also we have used nut and bolt. Here also we have inserted bolt, and then using a nut we have clubbed together. So this is one example of application of fastener. Now we will see the important thing about the nut and bolts. So external male thread, a thread cut on the outside of cylinder body. Okay, so this is a male part and this is the external thread. Okay, so these threads are cut on the outside of cylinder body. So this is called a bolt. So this is the female part, nut, we can call this is nut, and this is the internal female thread, a thread cut on the inside of cylindrical body. Okay, so it will useful for the assembly purpose. Now we will see how we are actually designing the nut or bolt. Okay, so external thread and internal threads. So crest, you see this is the peak edge of a thread. This is we can call crest. The bottom of thread cut into a cylindrical body, this is called a root. And the angle between the threads faces we can call thread angle. Okay, the angle between these thread faces we can call a thread angle. So this is for external thread, and same for internal thread. This is a crest, the peak edge of a thread, and this is root, the bottom of the thread cut into cylinder body. The bottom of the thread cut into the cylinder body. Okay, so same thing, external thread and internal threads are same things we are using. Only thing is this is externally we have applied and this is we have internally applied, or we have done in a hole. Now this is called a major diameter, the largest diameter on a internal or external thread. This is the external thread, So this is a major diameter for external thread, and this is a minor diameter for external thread. For this one, for this hole, or we can say internal threads, this is the minor diameter and this is the major diameter, from this to this. Now pitch, this is called the pitch, the distance between crest of threads. The distance between the crest of threads is called the pitch for external thread, and again for distance between the two crest, the pitch for internal thread. Then the lead, what is meant by lead? The distance a screw will advance when turned 360 degree. So when you rotate one rotation of your screw, what a distance it moves forward, what a distance it moves forward, this is called a pitch. Now we are going to see the comparison of thread cutting. Okay, we want to see what is the comparison of how we are able to create external thread and how we are going to able to cut a internal thread. See here, so this is a mechanism of external thread cutting. This is a threading die, and this is a die stock. So for which part you want to cut external thread, we will clamp into vise, and then this is we are doing manually. Same external thread cutting operation we can do on a lathe machine also. Okay, same thing we can do on a machine also. And when we want to do manually, we are having such kind of threading die. So first of all, we will clamp into the vise of the part for which you want to cut external thread. Then we will take this threading die, we will place inside this die stock, and then we will apply this threading die on these parts on externally, and then we will rotate on this part, so that whatever the threads present or whatever the geometry present inside this threading die, or whether you want square threads or whether you want V-shaped thread, according to that thread geometry we are placed inside the threading die, and that geometry will be cut onto your this part. Okay, it can be a V-shaped or it can be a square shaped. Okay, on the basis of this threading die, it will cut onto your this part. Now we have seen the external thread. Now we are going to see the internal thread. Same thing, for which part you want to cut the internal threads, you require to first of all clamp into vise, and then this is a tap wrench and this is a tap. At what size of you want to cut internal threads, that size may be M8, M7, M6, that type of tap we are going to select, whether you want to for M5, M6, M7, M8, that tap we are going to take, that tap we are going to fix into this tap wrench, and then will manually cut inside thread into this hole. Okay, by using machine also, on a lathe machine also, we can able to cut internal threads. Now we are going to see the drawing steps of external threads. So this is the remaining part. So I hope whatever we have learned today about the machine drawing in this subject, machine elements. So these are remaining things of drawing steps of external threads I have kept for a next lecture. So in coming lecture, whatever the next lecture I am going to teach, in that lecture we are going to see these drawing steps of external thread. Okay, so today in machine drawing lecture we have learned about the machine elements, how many types of machine elements are present, and today we have started about the screwed fasteners. And in the screwed fasteners, today we have learned about what is the material we are using for the screw fasteners, and what is the use of screw fasteners, and why we are using the screw fasteners. So in next lecture we are going to see the drawing steps of external threads. So thank you very much for listening carefully this lecture. Thank you very much.